Hello.
Hello.
Hello, we have a guest today.
Hello.
He's in the room with
We
me.
do have a guest today. We have a live guest.
We have a live guest. He's in the room with me. Say hello.
Isn't it funny that this is like not a live podcast, but we have a live guest?
Yeah, because I've kidnapped him. Say hello, kidnappy. No, no, you have to say hello. You can't act like you don't exist. Say something. No, don't throw your hands in the air.
Is Riley alone there, actually? Like, there's not actually a special guest.
This is where we learn that I have psychosis, that I've been imagining David for the past, like, I don't know, over a year.
Over a year.
Say something! I'm gonna hit you. See?
This is abuse. I was just assaulted by my partner.
Yeah, because you weren't talking.
See how the courts think about that.
I love it when we have guests on, and it like immediately turns into like a kick stream. I don't know.
It turns into a kick stream where we have like floozies on and they're like abused in the background while we like do coke on stream and gamble.
Is Kick really such a wild place? Is Kick for real that wild?
I don't think they have cocaine, but they do have gambling streams. It's like all gambling streams. They're all gambling sponsored, at least.
But it's so dumb.
It was founded with the express purpose of actually having gambling streams because gambling got banned on Twitch.
If gambling is profitable, well,
it's profitable for the people in the top. It's not profitable for people. Official SqueekyDogCast advice:
the house always wins.
Gamble. You will make so much money from gambling.
I once walked in to a casino with 200 rand and walked out with 400 rand, and I felt real good. And I never gambled again. I am 100% up. I am only a winner.
I've never gone into a casino because I'm 20, not 21. But I gamble in Fallout New Vegas. And in Pokemon.
Hard luck start for the win.
Yeah.
I gamble in Pokemon too, and I never get my money back.
My life is a gamble.
My life is like a video game.
Gambling and video games are not the same thing.
Yes, they are.
We kind of have a big thing that I never would have bet. I would have seen.
Joe Biden has cancer.
Of course, you never would have bet. You just said you don't do gambling.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I like the pun. I used it, even though I do not gamble.
It's not.
I never thought I'd see this shit.
I don't think it's that out of the world possibility. They're both world leaders. This is crazy, though.
No,
this is crazy.
This is like, look, I'm going to start off with a really grand, magnanimous statement here because we are pressed for time.
Yes.
But if Trump truly, truly, and deeply believes that there is a mass genocide by the ruling party of South Africa of white people, if Trump, right, if we're taking that to be true,
right,
then this is the equivalent of bringing the leader of Hamas into the White House.
Can I say something? We never introduced David properly.
I guess I am like...
we forgot about that.
I guess we are
introductory bit. I don't know what more you need.
David is our third wheel, our third partner. Or second. Third? Second?
Why would you say third wheel? You've known David and you've been with David longer than
this
me.
is true. I know. I said
And I
third
live
wheel
in a different
in like a. I didn't.
country on
I
a
thought-
different continent.
I thought of third wheel in like a tricycle sense and not in like a bike sense. You know, where you need all three. No, tricycles have
Those
four
are
wheels.
two-
No,
Those are
they
training
don't
wheels.
try.
Those are
two-wheels.
training wheels. I'm thinking of
Yes,
training
and
wheels on a
third
bike.
wheel is more, I thought, from gears, because it works fine if you have two of them connected to each other, but then the third one, it makes it all lock up, and
I thought of
that's why
it.
they do it in dating. It's like, oh, the third wheel there messes everything up. That isn't
Well,
part of the system.
I was thinking of third wheel in a sense of something that needs 3 wheels or 4 wheels, and not in the sense that a third wheel is an extra tumor.
Right, because you need 3 wheels because you're a baby that can't bicycle.
That's not true.
I say that you can have as many wheels as works for you.
That's fair.
How's that? How's that for my take on
Those
it?
damn
Is that
unicyclists.
the people who are just like, no, I'm gonna be like the front wheel and I will only have like a back wheel. No, that sounds like boring life. Like, get all the wheels. Have wheels like,
Or
you
wheel
know,
drive ATV.
Do dead people have 0 wheels? Because you're a wheel.
Where there's a wheel, there's a way.
Your brain just constantly like you're like on all neurons firing off to think of words to connect to the words that are being said at every moment.
Yeah, I think I've historically done that as a deflection way to not have to engage with actual conversation because of depression.
That's smart. It's pretty smart. Do you want to wear my autism hat or my Vietnam veteran hat?
No.
We could both wear one. I do feel like a radio jockey now with like a guest in the studio.
a radio jockey.
Hi, I'm
What,
your radio
the
DJ.
fucking-
And I'm
what's
whacked
his
out on
face?
Quaaludes.
The guy with long hair.
Howard Stern?
Howard Stern.
Yeah. You want to be
That's
my
awful.
Beetlejuice?
Do I kill you?
No, you're like, is Beetlejuice the one that's got like the small head? He's like the
I don't
weird looking guy
fucking
with
know.
the pebble head.
I don't watch
It's got
Howard Stern.
stockings.
Hold on, I got this. I could figure this out.
Like, Howard Stern is
Fuck. All right.
he's I don't know, like
It is him. You want to be him?
Howard Stern is wait, I don't see this. You gotta share
Oh,
screen
shit.
if you're
Oops.
pulling shit out.
Oops. Oh, everything is destroyed now. Oh no, I
Just-
fucked everything up.
Oh my goodness.
I fucked.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
Yeah,
I know this guy.
yeah, him. Yeah, this is who David is.
Wow. That's
Look, all the photos are the same up here.
I will not endorse this because that is blackface.
It is true.
I mean,
I forget he sounds like this. He sounds like this or something.
yeah,
from New
no, he
Jersey?
was a meme for a while.
He's from New Jersey.
That
He's from
that
Browns
tracks.
Mills. He's from Burlington. What the fuck?
He
Of course
seems
he's from
very New
fucking
Jersey.
Burlington. Of course he is. This is like the middle of the woods. It's like the woods. He's from the Pine
Of course
Barrens.
he's from New Jersey.
He's from fucking the Jersey Devil County.
You know what I'm saying, though.
Why does
I know what you're saying.
SqueekyDogCast have 2 E's?
Because we didn't know how to spell squeaky. By we, I mean I.
Yeah, this is unironically true.
Jade, why did you put Riley in charge of spelling anything?
Look, decisions were made. Decisions were made.
It adds a bit of brand
Decisions were made.
uniqueness. I didn't know that it was spelled with an A until like 3 months into recording it.
Yeah, no. Look, you can't trust Riley. Riley can barely read. Riley's like barely literate.
don't know how you graduated.
Yet today I graduated from college. I graduated today.
Well done.
They said-
Congratulations.
They said my fucking name wrong though.
So it wasn't actually you who graduated.
It was someone whose last name has the sound Furia instead of Fioria. I don't know how you fucked that up.
Furrier.
I am.
You're furrier than most.
I am.
You're not
I'm
being
guilty.
furry at all.
I'm guilty. All right. Now we can talk about politics.
Politics. My goodness, it's been a week.
It
This
has.
shit's going wild.
It's been a week
This
where I
shit's
have
going
basically
wild.
been not paying attention at all to politics. So it's been a great week to not pay attention.
It's not been a great week to pay a lot of attention, which is what I've been doing. I guess, like, going off what you brought up earlier, you're like, yes, Biden has like the angry cancer.
Yeah, he's got prostate cancer.
Biden has
Butt
like
cancer.
Prostate.
the angry
I can't believe
prostate
he's
cancer.
prostate.
You can't believe that?
I can't believe Biden is. He's pro state of Israel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. New
Pro
York
state of Israel.
Times.
Biden did not get prostate
Okay,
cancer
well,
diagnosis before last week.
Who cares when he got it or whatever? Like, we've already
Well, no, there
accepted
is
so many
there is a
things about,
conspiracy.
like,
There is a conspiracy of the right saying that they knew about
who
his cancer for a
cares?
year, and I saw it on a New York Post article while I
Who
was at work.
cares? They knew about his fucking mental dementia, and they hid that too. Like, at this point, is his cancer really like a talking point? Honestly, fuck off.
Well,
No, really.
a sitting
I don't
house.
think
He's an
anything
old
about him should be
man.
a talking point right now because he's not the president. He's not.
Well, I think anything about him that's a talking point should be things that he failed to do as president.
Right.
Like,
He's got as much fucking relevance right now as George Bush Senior.
that's fair. Actually, I'd argue he has
an
less.
old- he is an old ex-president who can never run again.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what. Like,
He
they
can run again.
make-
He only did one term.
Yes, but we
His turn.
already know that he's loopy. So why would, like, he can never run again. He can realistically
Actually,
never,
if you're a
ever
cancer
run
patient,
for office again.
your odds of being favored by Democrats actually go up. Remember Jerry Connolly? John Connolly?
Yes, but he's also
And
a
now-
dementia patient.
And Jerry Connolly's also
Are you
dead now.
saying like are you saying people in the USA are liable to vote for a dementia patient for office?
I'm saying
They
that
voted for Trump,
yeah,
so,
and they
like-
voted for Reagan. I'm also saying that the Democrats themselves, the
but,
Democratic
like-
Party, has no issue with cancer patients with dementia being able to run for office, considering they let him do it the first time and they let Jerry Connolly
Yes, but
get the
it's
positions.
public knowledge now.
Yeah, no, I'm just making fun of the
I'm
Democrats.
saying the American voter.
Oh, the American voter wouldn't vote for it because they have at least some
That's what I'm
standard.
saying.
But
like,
if you didn't
he's
tell them
gonna
they had
lose,
dementia,
and they know he's going to lose.
oh, they have no
And
issue
they
with
know, but
knowing
the
he'll lose.
American voter knows. The American voter is fully aware of the fact that the motherfucker's off his meds.
David's squeezing my leg. He's distracting
So
me.
at the end of the day, he's got no relevance at all.
No, he's got none, and now he's got cancer.
Every time Trump brings up his name, it's stupid because
Do you think Trump will be at his
Biden's
funeral?
not. No,
Do you think he'll go to a secret funeral?
He might like tweet
Secret
about it on his own
funeral.
app.
Do you think Trump will go to his grave and cry?
Trump. If Trump goes to his funeral, he will fall asleep.
I feel like Trump is like gay for
At some
Biden
point.
in the secrets. I think there was a
No,
there was a comic I saw a while ago. I don't know what it was from, but it was like posted somewhere else. But it was like a person going to someone's grave with it was like a trans person who died, and they like wrote in the lipstick of their actual name instead of their dead name. And I feel like Biden's gonna have that happen to him, but with Trump, and Trump's gonna come by with the lipstick and write in the real name. Jolinda
But-
Biden.
Luna.
Luna Biden.
I mean, what is there to say? I mean, I'm not a doctor, number one.
Yet.
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Your medical school. I'm paying all those bills for medical school. You better be a
If
doctor.
I could afford, if I could afford medical school, I wouldn't need medical school.
That's such a good way to put it.
It's like, what's it? I'll say this. Look, I'm not giving away any names here, so I'll just say this. I have an uncle who works for a very large and very rich old money business. And because of that, he is very, very rich. And his daughter got a degree in, like, what's it, nature conservation?
Oh, cool.
Like the kind of thing you'd be to be like a park ranger and
Yeah.
shit like that. Like
Yeah.
a professional park ranger and shit.
Mhm.
Well, she got her degree, went out there for like a week and decided like this lifestyle is not for me because she's a rich girl.
Wow.
So she just like.
I would love
So
to go to
that's a
school to be
real
a
thing
park
that
ranger.
exists.
I feel like that's another thing, a path in life that I could have gone down if I was more into being physically fit. Then again, I've seen some park rangers and they're not that physically fit.
You don't have to be physically fit.
Yeah. It's a career path I consider going down.
Because once you know the things you know about the nature around you, you realize how much you can survive on.
Yeah.
Like, with very little work and effort. Like, as long as you know, but that's the thing, is that's why it takes the degree.
Yeah. Well, also the park rangers are more so conservationists, and stuff.
How did we
Whatever.
end up on
I don't know.
park rangers? Anyway,
Politics.
that's
Ramaphosa
my fault.
came to America.
Came up with park rangers
Ramaphosa.
because
Bark
your
rangers.
uncle's daughter or something was
Park rangers.
rich park ranger.
Park rangers.
And then decided, nah.
Yeah, and I think she's married. She's engaged to some Saudi prince or something. I don't know.
Ramaphosa
it sounds like a joke,
coming
but like
to
that, yeah.
America. Coming to America with Eddie Murphy.
So initial thoughts, first thoughts before you know anything, because I've told you very little and you haven't seen anything. So
Yeah.
what are your first thoughts right now?
I think that it is so shocking to me how far the farm murders thing has gone for Trump's presidency. How much of a big deal he wants to make this. I can't believe that it has gotten to the point where we're now having meetings in the Oval Office about something that isn't happening.
They're seated both facing the same way, sort of, like it's a talk show and not like they're having a meeting.
That's normally how they do these.
Well,
yeah.
The thing is that behind this camera here, around the back here, are a bunch of people.
Oh, there's so many. Yeah, they'll pull out, and you have a million press on top of each other.
And I've given this away to Riley already, but one of those people is John Steenhuisen,
who's the head of the DA, South Africa's second major party.
Okay.
I wonder, is there a way to find out?
The DA is the Democratic Alliance. Authority or Alliance? I think it's Alliance, right?
District Attorney.
Yeah, District Attorney. Democratic Alliance.
The Democratic Alliance.
Yeah.
They changed their name a couple of times, so I don't vote for any of these assholes, so...
Yeah, they're very much like a business, sort of Republican kind of thing going on, but there's a couple more progressive elements in there. Like, what was his name? The progressive guy who got ousted?
The one who got ousted?
Yeah.
Musi Maimane.
Musi Maimane, yeah. Musi Maimane. Right now they're led by John Steenhuisen, who's Afrikaners. Musi Maimane was Zulu. No, I don't know.
Looking at that pencil at me for an awful lot for if you want me to be closer to the mic.
Oh no, I'm just flicking the pencil because I'm thinking and I'm like chewing on.
Right now, in charge of the DA is a guy called John Steenhuisen. Now, here's a little refresher on South African politics for people: is that the recent election shook shit up.
Right.
And right now we have what they call the GNU, the Government of National Unity. So because the ANC, Cyril Ramaphosa's party, couldn't hold on to an actual majority of the votes for the first time in its history,
right?
Enough to hold a full majority as they have since the beginning of democratic South Africa. It's been ANC. So now there's a coalition of parties which includes the biggest other opposition to the ANC, which is the DA.
Wait, the
DA... And the DA is led currently by this guy.
Yeah. So wait, the Coalition of National Unity is or Government of National Unity. That's ANC and DA, right?
Yeah, mainly. There's a few other parties,
the smaller ones. I think that the fucking the monarchist party. Was in it, I think?
1 or 2, yeah, like the 1 to 3% parties, I'd say.
Yeah.
But
and then the
DA
opposition
is like
the opposition is mainly
30
EFF
to 35,
and
like 25 to
Mkhonto we Sizwe.
35% would be yeah. The MK party is Jacob Zuma's party. It exists just to make Jacob
Zuma is the former prime minister. He was arrested on
prime
crime.
minister. What the fuck are you
President. Sorry, president. I'm used to saying prime minister for countries that aren't America.
Is he the one that had all the money in the bed?
Yes, that was the one who put the money in the bed.
Money?
No, Cyril Ramaphosa had the money under his bed, but Jacob Zuma had the money in his account. You see, there's
a difference between the two.
Like no, they're both corrupt.
Zuma was fire pool guy.
There's levels to the stuff.
Zuma was the fire
Zuma
pool.
had invested his corruption. He had lots of time. Zuma had lots of time.
Zuma was the guy who put all of the money into making a really fancy home for himself.
He has a little palace. Don't worry about it.
He has a small palace in KwaZulu-Natal.
In like rural KZN, there's a small palace somewhere up a dirt road. You go far enough, there's a fucking palace. Everybody else in the area can't afford to eat, by the way, but he's got a palace.
He's literally like a slumlord. Anyway.
The biggest opposition to the ANC is John Steenhuisen, but he's in the government. You see, currently he holds office. He is the Minister of Agriculture.
Which might be like a joke position in America, but in South Africa, that's pretty big.
No, we are an agricultural country. We are a country that leans heavily...
With the controversy in America being the farm murders, very relevant. Very, very relevant. You have the guy in charge of the farms there in the White House, or not?
Yeah. Where food comes from, which is a very important thing for people in society.
It's very important. Plus, a lot of the white population is the farmers in South Africa, which is why the farm murders myth is so common.
In my province, because we don't have states, we have provinces like Canada. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because
in my province
just means a country.
Another name. Yeah.
They have the Cape Winelands, where we make tons and tons of wine. So there's just fucking Minister of Agriculture in South Africa is pretty big, like considering we have a wine industry.
Yeah.
Like a internationally recognized wine industry.
Yeah. But like the US Minister of Agriculture ain't gonna have that much pull, but South African Minister of Agriculture is gonna have a lot of pull in the country.
Usually previously somebody like this wouldn't have been the Minister of Agriculture. So that's what the GNU changed, is that these types of positions went to opposition parties to the ANC. So even though they hold high ranking positions in the government, they don't necessarily align their politics to the same as the government.
Yes. Now we get to the actual meeting, right?
Right. So in the actual meeting, like, things are progressing. I think, like...
Well, I wanted to see what happens with that when it's there's a lot of hatred, there's a lot of death. It's a bloodbath.
It is.
I get the...
Unfortunately.
I get the satellite pictures of that field, of that killing field.
I don't know what they're talking about, yeah.
Do you have the
This is...
He's from South Africa. Go ahead, please.
What are you expecting on the ICJ case? Are you expecting South Africa to drop that?
Oh yeah, the ICJ case. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about on there. That's the one with South Africa against Israel.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I was curious if there was another one that Trump tried to
open
open
up.
Trump
has no idea what the fuck. We know where Trump stands on Israel.
Actually, we don't.
Here we go. We know exactly where Trump
they're
stands.
shifting. They're shifting on Israel.
Because like what they say they stand for in most media isn't like what they actually stand for, but their actions speak loud enough, right? Like here's Trump's take on Israel. I just want this shit to be over so I can make my money.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think he's shifting away from it, because it's not going to be over, and he hates it now.
Me making $1 million.
He's moving over to being friends with like Saudi Arabia and stuff, being major things. Here's my prediction, official prediction. I think that Trump is going to abandon Israel personally because he hates Netanyahu, because Netanyahu treats him like how Netanyahu treated Biden, and Biden let that happen. But Trump is too much of an egotist to like let someone else walk all over him, and that's the only reason why he's going to drop Israel. Same reason why he's dropping Russia. Same reason why he's dropping Russia. Putin was mean to him.
Like, he's just tired of the shit and he doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
But
anyway, continue.
He doesn't have like real beliefs.
He doesn't give a fuck about the ICJ ruling.
This is the big sticking point, right? Because last week we spoke about the racist white South Africans, the 49.
Yeah.
Who went to America because they feel persecuted because of their whiteness. And we find out like the dude owns a mine and like a 5-bedroom mansion.
Yeah. He had a whole business that he left behind.
Yeah, you're like, fuck these people. But so here's where the actual sticking point comes in the meeting.
For you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa.
Well, I can answer that for the president. But for him, no, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our president will respond to you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these 3 gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries.
Keeps going, he's doubling down.
Yeah.
Stories, and
this is what he does.
Is Natalie here? Somebody here to turn that?
Because what Trump does, Trump's tactic is this.
And I would.
If you pause.
I have to, it has to be responded to.
Trump's tactic is this. Someone tells him something, and he goes, "No, why weren't you doing the why do the thingy? Come on, do the." And as he's gone on, it's gotten less exaggerated and less less energetic, but it's still the same idea of power through what your opponent's trying to tell you, and just keep saying the lie over and over and over, and no matter what, because nobody will ever question you if they already believe in you. They'll just keep believing it, and because they see that you're not giving up on the point, they won't give up on the point. It's constantly, why didn't you do this? Why weren't you doing that? You could have done this. You could have done that. We have so many proof that you could have done it, but nobody's doing it. But like, it's that shit. He doesn't. That's all that matters, is the fact that he is not admitting that he is wrong, and that's then no one will ever change their mind because they listen to him. It's futile.
Yay.
This is just it's so bad, but it continues because he triples down soon.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do, with or without you. People are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the.
Is he playing Julius Malema?
No one.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Who are you to tell us whether we can?
So he's playing a video of Julius Malema right now, right?
Are we going to have a little history lesson on Julius Malema now? Like.
We're gonna at least show who Julius Malema is. Leader of the EFF, well known for like hate speech, basically like singing "Kill the White Person."
He's a Marxist-Leninist.
He's self-described left-leaning. He's seen as an extremist. Leads like a nothing political party that, since this latest election, like shook things up, basically made him.
They're nothing now.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like
they're nothing because of him. If he wasn't a part of it, they would be a legit party. But because he is such a controversial figure, nobody wants to do anything with the EFF.
Well, because a lot of his support now went over to the MK party under Jacob Zuma.
Because that's another left-wing party.
They had the same politics, basically.
Yeah.
Outside of the ANC.
Yeah.
Well, Jacob Zuma didn't really have the same politics. Jacob Zuma is more like a criminal in charge, very much like Trump,
like the
without
kingpin.
all the hate speech. Like Zuma is like Trump with all the hate speech.
There's a hole in David's sock.
But
there's two.
Oh goodness!
Damn boy.
I get hungry sometimes.
In, right?
I get hungry.
Oh goodness, chewing on your toenails.
XQC.
But yeah, he's playing Julius Malema, but it goes further than just playing Julius Malema.
Occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are.
Hold on, can I point out real quick? They're showing off one of the secret doors. They're showing off one of the secret doors in the White House. It's so cool. You can see in the background with the mirror. That's a door, secret door. That's so cool.
You gotta know who these people are, though.
I'm bad with faces. They look identical. They look like triplets.
Well, one of them I think is this guy.
Oh, Rupert? Johan Rupert? Who the fuck is this guy? Rupert.
A South African billionaire businessman.
Okay, Johan Rupert. I said his name like I knew who he was. I think I just saw the Rupert and thought it was Rupert.
And Anton Rupert. Basically, a white guy who benefited off of the apartheid regime in massive, massive ways, and is still riding the wave from that today, unabated and allowed in South Africa.
Like Elon Musk's dad. This is like Elon Musk's dad.
This is that, like, to that level, but even more so.
I see.
Like, he's a 74-year-old billionaire. Like, he's been doing this a while. Like, he's one of the old guard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He was at this event. Then you've got, like, obviously, you know, John Steenhuisen.
Yeah.
But then, how's this? How's this for smart? Ever South Africa leaning on sport to bring people together? We had Ernie Els.
I don't know who the fuck Ernie Els is. He's a golfer.
He's a South African professional golfer who, like, at one point was measured alongside people like Tiger Woods and such.
That's the only golfer I know, baby!
Yeah, I figured I'd mention a famous one. But, like, yeah, he was a big international professional golfer, and so was Retief Goosen.
Retief Goosen. I don't respect this name.
Oh, trust me, the way Trump says his name is even funnier.
Retief Goosen. We have Retief Goosen here. He's the goose of goose of South Africa. Retief Goosen.
Golden goose.
Retief.
He's our golden goose. Anyway, good credit.
But yeah, these are all people, like, standing around, because Retief Goosen is like an old motherfucker now. But yeah, like, here's John Steenhuisen's head. Big fat fucking head. Anyway.
Can you go back to John Steenhuisen's picture real quick? He kind of reminds me of Dan from the Slow Mo Guys, but if he was older.
Looks like a fatter Ben Shapiro.
I mean, David's on this one. I think David wins that one, Riley. No, I think David.
I think I'm right. I think I'm right. I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna just say
this is what happens to like Ben Shapiro when he gets, like, eaten by another Ben Shapiro.
By Kirby. This is the copyability of when Kirby eats Ben Shapiro. All right, continue with the video.
Kirby eats Ben Shapiro. Because look at the reaction, right?
Yeah, everyone's laughing like, damn, you don't know who this guy is, do you?
But in a way, right, like, this is kind of why the rhetoric doesn't work, right? Like, I just like to make a note here about a figure like Julius Malema, is that the clips that Donald Trump is playing right now aren't from an hour ago. They aren't from last week. Some of these clips of Julius Malema pulling this shit are from over 10 years ago.
Oh God! It's literally like No, it's like America, like saying America's doing a white genocide, and it, like pulling up footage of, like, the Nation of Islam in the 70s, saying America's doing a white genocide.
Like the footage he's pulling from is, I've not seen any outlet, even the left-leaning media I've watched, hasn't actually mentioned that this footage of Julius Malema is probably over a decade old. Like, he said all this in public and all of that, and the government 10 years later is like, no, this asshole, we don't vibe with this shit, number one, and number two, like, he's irrelevant. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's like trying to pull up fucking clips of like, I don't know, like, I can't even think of anything because there's really no one in America who's like Julius Malema anymore. We don't have anybody like this who's like an outspoken, like extreme leftist guy from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, because America clamps down on that shit like real fast.
America never had a left. America hasn't had a left movement until recently, since like the 60s. So
yeah, no, the Red Scare really.
Yeah, the Black Panthers were like the last leftists.
But this is so embarrassing, actually, to have like if Julius didn't do this.
Ramaphosa just looks like, damn, this is literally a different guy.
Because, like, if you really rewind time, Julius Malema was part of the ANC Youth League. Like, he was an ANC brought up inside the ANC, basically.
Right.
He led the ANC Youth League at one point. So he very much would have worked with Cyril. Like, they know each other on a very personal basis. Like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, fuck's sakes, Julius, you could have not done this.
An actual facepalm there.
Yeah.
Is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them.
Also, I love this too. Because this is so tacky, but it's something Trump does all the time. Where he'll play a video instead of like... And he doesn't really like announce it. Like, they were not prepared to show this video. You would think that if they were going to show this video and it's a press briefing, they would have had a camera on the video with audio and subtitles prepared. This is such a tacky, shitty, display of their incompetence.
Really sad about this? Do you know what's kind of really sad?
Yeah.
Is that we have this big screen pushing propaganda, and right behind it are like books hidden away behind this propaganda spitting.
It is like a fucking political cartoon ass shit.
He was trying to do the video as some sort of like big gotcha moment. Like,
yeah, he does it all the time. He does it all the time at his rallies too.
It just keeps going.
Not because Mashaba and Sunni will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we're starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness. It's like that. Shoot, kill, no master. The farmer.
The ASL, or the, not ASL, would be ZSL, whatever the hell. ZASL?
I think it would be ZASL. Or SASL.
Maybe SASL, because it's probably done by.
Then they pull another clip, right? Different clip. Also another one from over a decade ago.
It's just crazy.
I'm saying to you, was not called for the killing of white people, at least for now.
And then I think this audio.
You understand somebody watching that, especially.
This audio that they're playing here is from his court case in South Africa, where the high court, like the highest court in South Africa, basically sat Julius Malema down, you know, for hate speech and said, like, listen, you can't, just don't, just stop. He didn't say he'd stop, but like, this is, you know, the court and the land.
There's acknowledgement from the government that he's not supposed to be doing this.
There's acknowledgement,
and Trump is trying to use it as a gotcha to be like, see, you guys aren't taking care of this guy.
But they are doing everything they can.
Yeah, they put him in court for hate speech.
We also do have kind of a free speech law in South Africa, so he can say this shit, and nobody nobody does anything because he's a small fry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's singing "Kill the Boar," right?
Imagine pulling up stuff that
Because I think at
Kanye
one
said to say
point
that
one of the
America
clips-
is doing genocide.
Exactly. It's like pulling up Kanye tweets as evidence.
Yeah, but like, I think also one of the clips is Cyril himself singing the same song, or another one of those struggle songs.
Right.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refugee in America.
Yet, I will say this: if anyone ever brought up old stuff of Trump, if anyone ever brought up the time that Trump said to kill the Central Park 5 kids, or any of the other instances of him being racist in the past, if anyone ever brought that up, if his dad was in the KKK, if anyone brought that up, it would be dismissed as a shameless attack on his character, using old evidence that has no bearing on the modern day. Yet he's pulling up clips of 10, 20 years ago of political figures.
Yeah, but it goes further. He actually
Burial sites, right?
Do you hear that? Burial sites.
Yeah,
Video
burial
footage
sites.
of burial sites.
Yeah.
Here. Burial sites. Over 1,000
Over 1,000.
of white farmers.
White
And
farmers.
those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross. And
We don't actually get to see it
approximately
though.
1,000 of them. They're all white.
And not being able,
farmers.
not seeing it
The
also
family of
plays
white
into the
farmers.
propaganda more, because then you have
And
to
those
only
cars
your only word
aren't,
of it is his.
Driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who's.
But like,
and
look at his reaction
they're-
here.
Yeah,
Look at
Ramaphosa.
Cyril's
Anything
reaction.
like it. Both sides of the road, you have crosses.
He's properly watching the video. Like he's properly looking at it. He's not just like,
Like, what is this?
oh my god. Like he's.
Those people are all killed.
Where is that?
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is. Because
How much? Right?
I guarantee you it's from like the DRC or some shit like that.
The president of the United States of America. Right?
Yeah.
You are, in theory, clued in to the world's most top secret everything, where your government is watching everybody internationally all the time. And you get up and you say, this is one of the biggest issues for us, is the genocide of white people in this country. And they bring you video footage and you don't ask where it comes from?
Yeah.
You don't know where it is?
He goes, perfect.
Vaguely here, sir. What?
It's on the dark continent,
don't-
sir.
It's in Africa. Like,
this I've never seen.
because look at his
Ramaphosa, you're the president of Africa, yes?
Burial sites, right here.
Because just watch Trump's answer, right? When Ramaphosa asks him the
White
question.
farmers. And those cars are lined up.
Well, fast forward a bit, because you went back a
See,
lot.
there's 1,000 cars killed.
I'd like to know where. Have they
Yeah.
told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is. Because
No.
this I've never seen. But
Shakes his head, no, I've never
South
seen this.
Africa, that's where-
You said you didn't know! How can you say it's in South Africa? You literally just admitted you did not know where this is.
Like, here's a theory, right? Wild theory.
Yeah.
Here's a theory. We find out it's a 15-year-old video from Zimbabwe.
Yeah. It's a video from last week from the DRC or some shit. From the fucking... A war in,
I'm
fucking
not even talking
Burkina
about far away.
Faso.
Remember, Zimbabwe is a neighbor.
True, yeah,
So I'm
Rhodesia.
just saying, like, it's 100 meters over the Zimbabwean border on the
It
Zimbabwean
could be
side.
in fucking Haiti. It could be fucking anywhere.
We don't see it.
We don't even
so,
see the
like, it
video.
could just be
Yeah.
a regular graveyard that's having a funeral.
Yeah, we don't even see the video the contents of the video are. It could be a normal ass fucking funeral. We don't even know because he doesn't show the video.
I think there are other angles that show like what's on the screen.
Yeah, because it could be
I don't know how
literally anywhere. Because I would love to actually see what he's looking at to like really get into it. Because if there's like soldiers in the video, you can identify where they're from and stuff. If there are like buildings that are, you can probably like fucking some other people, not me. I can't fucking do any of this, but like you could probably find where that is. If there's like buildings in a proper city, you can see or something like, or like a countryside that's very recognizable or something. You can like figure it out. I want to see what he actually showed everyone.
Who do you think? Where am
I think
going?
CNN might have CNN. Try CNN. Try CNN. Trump ambushes
CNN.
South African president in Oval Office with a video. Try that. Is that it? Wow, CNN. Wow.
I would say
this is just gonna be normal footage.
Afrikaner farmer genocide. So
this was a long.
Yeah, no, they don't even show the footage. They just have a person talk about it.
Cyril Ramaphosa brought out propaganda. Said,
I wonder if they show that.
No, they don't show. They're not showing it.
Those men getting into power.
If they would have done it. This is just a person speaking about it.
But none of it.
Okay.
Sky News maybe.
From their broadcast.
It's probably not on there.
Go off. Give me cookies.
Get off this fucking site. Get the fuck off this site. This is actual garbage. I just remembered Sky News is like foreign countries' version of Fox. Get the fuck off this site. Look at how many ads there are. Look at this fucking disgusting shit.
Okay.
We can't find it.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I did see they are different angles. They are different.
Yeah, I'm sure on one of them it's there, but we're not going to switch to
it was basically a line of cars on a road, and you could vaguely see like something, I guess, that looked like crosses or white something on the ground.
Look, it could very well be
specified like, oh, all those white things, those are crosses. So
yeah,
it's very zoomed out. Then
it could very well be a mass grave site, but like the idea that it necessarily has to be like in South Africa without any proof is insane.
Yeah, so he says at first, he answers with, no, they never told me where it is, but it's South Africa. Like, he has no actual evidence for any of this. He's just saying shit. But he's sitting next to the South African president who's saying, like, none of this shit's recognizable to me. I'm in charge of this country, and I, like, you know...
The Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
It gets immediately, this is amazing, it gets immediately followed up.
All right, show me it.
By the Qatari jet story.
I want to see what Ramaphosa is saying here.
Can you imagine?
What are you talking about? You know,
yeah, I want to respond to that.
Get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing, they also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition to the jet.
He's just blabbles. How dare you distract from this conversation while I continue to talk about the thing that distracted the conversation?
Thank you very much.
I think, yeah, he talks to, he shuts...
Let's go.
Thank you so much, President Trump, and it's also from ENCA in South Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation that we've just seen?
I will say, Ramaphosa is kind of being a little weak by not flatly interrupting Trump being, I want to talk about the video you just played of accusing my country of genocide. He's a little weak on that. He should absolutely be like, hey, Trump, shut the fuck up.
I'm not somebody who generally agrees with Trump, and I feel like that moment really juxtaposes like Trump's politics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I do think that the journalist who decided to take that moment to bring up the Qatari jet story really was not doing the best job.
No, that was definitely stupid. But It seems that they never get back onto it.
It's a moment to be like, holy shit, that really does juxtapose like Trump's like politics, but at the same time, like that journalist really could have done a better job in asking about something like that.
Yeah, but it seems that they never really get back to it because it seems like another person asked a question, and I feel like Ramaphosa should be like, "Hey, Trump, no, we're talking about the video you just played. No more questions. We're talking about the video."
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
The next journalist is a South African journalist.
Okay.
And she calls it back to the video.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation that we've just seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death.
Horrible death. Horrible death.
I don't know. I don't know. White South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and rape.
Unlike printed pages. Big
Death
word.
of people.
Racist laws. And this is all. I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say
like this is what you'd find in the like rough notes of a like serial like mass shooter.
Yeah, literally. Afriform.
Like,
where are they printed from? What side are they printing them
probably
from?
Afriform.
That looks like New York Post. That one he was holding there. That looks like New York Post.
Yeah, but remember the New York Post likes clicky headlines.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We have to admit this. But like, look at his.
White South African couples say that they were attacked violently.
President Trump, when will you go and see for yourself if it is indeed true?
Well, I could do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried. And he asks about a jet that was given. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Like, what do you know? What I notice as well,
fake outrage while
is that
taking advantage of it to distract from any mistakes he may or may not have made.
Yeah.
I feel like these aren't even like official briefing notes.
No, they literally look like
a
printed out
president
news
would
articles.
have in this case.
They look like printed out news articles.
Like these, like there's no binder or there's no.
They're fucking
folder.
paper clipped together.
This is not like, hey, we have. Yeah, they're
paper clipped out
I feel
news
like
articles.
These are just things that they fed to Trump. Like, hey, Trump, show these death. This is
death. People dying.
Over how long? Is that an unusual death rate for a country?
Yeah, I know.
Look at that moment.
Yeah.
Look at Cyril. He wants it. He wants the information. He wants that stack of papers. He wants it because he knows he can look through there and be like, "But we know this about this." Look,
but I think if he was a stronger guy, he would have fucking downright said, "Trump, hand me that packet." Like, I feel like Cyril's a little weak. He's not
president of a third world country.
I know, but like,
what do you want?
I feel like if this was like Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum was in this situation, she'd fucking like be like, "Trump, give me the packet." Like, I feel like it's not looking good. It's not a good, like, Ramaphosa needs to be stronger. He needs to be stronger.
There's a difference between, because America doesn't think it would need a place like South Africa, but South Africa wants to be needed by America because it means investment in the country.
That's true. Ramaphosa doesn't want to be antagonistic.
A lot of these old white dudes that are standing around in the room were friends with Trump back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
All of these rich families all around the world intermingle. When like Trump's family wanted a holiday home in South Africa, they went to the types of places that like Pretty Gerson and Ernie Els would go to. Like better than that sometimes. Like
yeah.
So they want investment. We're a third world country and we don't border you.
Yeah.
Like Mexico has a lot of like things that people believe about it, like it's a third world and it's rough out there and all of that, but they border the United States, which means that just by that merit, their development needs to be at some kind of level, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I understand why
and
Cyril's doing it.
Americans I know.
But I feel like in this situation with Trump, America should just be cut off from everyone, and just literally, I don't care if this is like the smartest thing to do. Everyone needs to treat America like how we treat North Korea. That is unironically, I feel like how we should be treating Trump.
A lot of media covering this meeting is talking about how weak Cyril was. But here's the play, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't about Cyril.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't about Cyril. This was Team South Africa. Because if you think about it, what is Trump gonna say to like, hey, John Steenhuisen said there's no genocide of white South Africans.
I've got a video of a graveyard.
Say to John Steenhuisen?
I've got a video of some crosses.
Like, people are saying,
yeah. Many people are saying this.
I think there's a part where I want to actually see if I can get the part
where someone said they were attacked.
And maybe if you want to find Steenhuisen. He does get his hands on it.
He gets his hands on the paper.
Okay.
So the issues that concern you as the United States,
those are all recent. Those are all deaths.
Yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa. And
see, this is his goal.
Yeah,
it's all about business investment. So this isn't like he is trying to downplay race relations. Because look, there may be some problematic race relations in South Africa. Like obviously, like America did successfully make, say, like 49 white people take up the deal to come in as quote unquote refugees. But like 49 people's barely a drop in the bucket, you know?
Yeah.
There's a very small group of people, and it's not even anybody who's important, should I say. It's not like the leader of the opposite, like the rebellion to the white genocide. Like that guy is still in South Africa. The guy who basically espouses the white genocide the most inside South Africa, the leader of AfriForum.
I wonder how many people left America after Trump took office.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because have I told you what AfriForum's initial response was to people taking the refugee ticket to America?
What was it?
They're cowards. We should take back our country.
Yeah.
This is our land.
Cucks to
That's
America.
That's what AfriForum said about it. So, you see, kind of like that's where the divisiveness comes in. But like,
you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are.
Because I think at one point, it's not only John Steenhuisen that talks. Yeah, I think this is the part.
Who's address some this very issue, including the question that you've just raised. John?
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you for welcoming us to the White House. I would say we have a rural safety problem in South Africa. I don't think anyone wants to candy coat that. And it requires a lot of effort to get on top of it. It's going to require more policing resources. It's going to require different strategy to be able to deal with it. But certainly the majority of South Africa's commercial and smallholder farmers really do want to stay in South Africa and make it work. And I've just come from the largest agricultural show in the Southern Hemisphere with organized agriculture and farmers, and the majority of them want to stay. But they too there have a memorial to those who've died as a result of farm attacks. And as the Minister of Agriculture, it is something that I'm particularly exercised with my colleagues at police and my colleagues in the justice cluster to start making farm attacks and stock theft a priority crime. And it affects all farmers in South Africa, particularly stock theft. It has a disproportionate effect on smallholder black farmers. I also want to just say this, that the two individuals that are in that video that you've seen are both leaders of opposition minority parties in South Africa. Mkhonto Wesizwe under Mr. Zuma and the economic freedom fighters under Mr. Malema. Now the reason that my party, the Democratic Alliance, which has been an opposition party for over 30 years, chose to join hands with Mr. Ramaphosa's party was precisely to keep those people out of power. We cannot have those people sitting in the union buildings making decisions. And that is why after 30 years of us exchanging barbs across the floor in Parliament and trying to get one over on each other, we've decided to join hands precisely to keep that lot out of government. Because the day they get in to the doors of the union buildings in South Africa or control of our Parliament, that's what you're going to see. And that is why this government, working together, needs the support of our allies around the world so that we can strengthen our hand, grow our economy, and shut the door forever on that rabble getting through the doors of the union buildings, because then South Africa's future would be...
So you denounced that type of language in the video that you saw?
Oh yes, we've always done so as government.
How simple was that?
Simple.
Like, when do your politicians generally speak like this anymore? He was asked, do you
Never.
denounce? And he's just like, yes.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
I denounce.
I think it's been all our politicians except for the Trump gang.
Well, no, Israel. Think of Israel.
Yeah.
Do you denounce like IDF actions in Gaza? And it's like, well, no, Israel's right to defend itself. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's fair.
But even so, it's like, no, we really don't stand for this. It's a very, very definite, like, from the leader of the nation.
Opposed to that. We, in 1955, adopted a document which said South Africa belongs to all who live in it.
But why wouldn't you arrest that man? That man said, kill the white farmer.
He did get arrested.
He did get arrested for hate speech.
And
then he danced.
He went to court. He
played court
went
footage.
to court and the court said,
Yeah,
stop
I like
doing it.
I like how he said.
Okay, like,
I like how he said he said the hate speech and then he danced, as if the two things were like he did this hate speech in court. He sang "Kill the Boer" and then it cuts to him fucking dancing at some like Zulu festival or something, that like some shit like, oh, look at that. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, but no, like our politicians dance. This is something all of our politicians do in South Africa. We are a
Even
different nation
Steenhuisen?
culturally. All of our politicians dance.
Is
No,
Steenhuisen-
Steenhuisen's too white to dance. I wouldn't. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody
he pulls
wants
out
to
like
see
the he
that.
pulls out like
It would
the
only
Donald
embed
Trump
you.
like hip sway with the arms out.
Do you dance, Jade?
I headbang.
That's fair. That's dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my answer. But
I
yeah,
like
that's the answer from Steenhuisen.
I dance.
Dancing, and it's kill the white farmers. I'm not sure, but I think if somebody got up in Parliament and started saying kill a certain group of people, he would be arrested very quick.
No.
He was.
That's going all over South Africa, and that's
Because that's why I say the footage he's referring to is over a decade old.
Yeah.
That was a stadium that holds 100,000 people, and I hardly saw an empty seat. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of representation. And those crosses, we have dead white people, dead white farmers, mostly.
Oh no, dead white people.
You take a look at Australia. They're being inundated, and we're being inundated with people, as you know. Europe doesn't help. Europe hasn't given anything.
Inundation of
All
49
Of course,
people.
look at how little everybody else is doing.
Yeah. The Australia thing's funny because Jade always tells me about how Australia was one of the destinations a lot of racist Afrikaners left to after apartheid ended.
Yep,
So him
because
saying Australia's
culturally
funny.
it's kind of similar because it's also ex-colony run by white folk who have a history of being very mean to the local population.
I've heard about as much from a friend I have that's Australian. It's
yeah,
it sucks.
It's, you know, but so at one point I can tell you that overall, other than what I've been showing you, it seemed to be that South Africa, Cyril spoke very much about natural rare earth minerals that
Of
South
course.
Africa has,
Of course.
and wanting to do trade on that level, and that they are very open to whatever the fuck, you know, crazy people have to say about it. You know, just talk to us.
Yeah.
Because we do, like, you say there's a genocide, give me the paperwork, I will bring you fucking answers. Like,
Yeah,
there are answers for this stuff.
Trump was
Once
asked,
again,
hey, what do you
other
want the
stuff-
president to do? And Trump was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
He said, I don't know. when asked what he wanted
Yeah.
Mr. Ramaphosa to do about
But
it.
then
Ramaphosa.
something that we haven't seen.
Sorry, I was thinking of the subtitles that were messed up.
Yeah, it's bad, the subtitles sometimes. But what we haven't seen in the clip is that the other focus, especially from like the businessmen, like the Retief Goosen, the Johan Rupert sort of group of people, they seem to focus on wanting to try and tell Trump that no, it's not that there's an attack on white people in South Africa, it's that South Africa has a crime problem.
Yeah.
So here's another interesting aspect. Like, this wasn't shown in the clips at all, really. But they said things like, we could really use the American technology to help with our police force.
he wants fucking
to get down
MIC funding.
So the thing is that, look, the South African police force is not anything to like really be like super proud of.
No.
They're just like a semi-ineffectual police force, and we do have a ton of crime that goes unanswered because of a system of corruption, especially, and in the police force as well. We found out at one point that the head of the police, the chief of police in the government, we found out that they didn't finish high school.
That makes sense for a cop.
Like some of the paperwork was fudged as they rose through the ranks. It was hilarious. So the old white guard, these kinds of people, basically wanted to redirect Trump's attention away from, hey, these are like white refugees because of a genocide of white people, more onto the idea of, we can give you rare earth minerals and we will buy.
It makes sense because crime harms property and business interest. So and it also brings on property values, and also there's a lot of money to be made with like security and policing industries.
So private security is one of the biggest industries in South Africa because of our crime. Like even your everyday neighborhood generally has, like, as far as I understand, in America, most neighborhoods have some kind of neighborhood watch.
I don't know about most.
No, neighborhood watches are unofficial. They were started during segregation times as a way to keep black people afraid, and they're not really enforced nowadays. Nobody's really a part of their national.
They are generally like private.
No, the way they work is you put up a sign that says "Neighborhood Watch, don't do crime," and then it doesn't do anything. And really, it's just a deterrent to make it so that if you try to break into someone's house, someone will call the cops on you. Neighborhood Watch isn't anything other than we'll call the cops on you.
In South Africa, what we have is a level beyond even that, because we have private security trucks.
Yeah, no, Neighborhood Watch is not that. No, Neighborhood Watch is old ladies who look out their window and call the police on black people.
And this is not, I'm talking about rich neighborhood, I'm talking about like middle class.
Yeah.
Lower middle class neighborhoods have this. Like, it's...
And the rich people don't want to see the protection.
Yeah. Not until they're like quote-unquote.
If there was less crime in the country, like, they would need to pay less for security, and thereby their profits increase, right?
Yeah.
So the business people had their say, and as far as that's concerned, that seems to be what South Africa's goal is long term, politically.
That makes
sense. With America.
That makes sense.
And
get close ties, work their way away from Russia.
I think that having John Steenhuisen in there, bringing like the golf people, the old like white golf legends from the 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, 56,
Trump loves
55
golf.
years
Trump
old.
loves golf.
Yeah, he and Biden got in
what
a
did
fight
South
over it
Africa
at one of the
do?
debates.
Yeah.
South Africa uses sport.
Yeah.
To get to people, to do things, to accomplish things.
We're part of the international community. You can treat us like a country that you need to respect and work
I
with.
wonder if in the recording of this, David will appear in the right ear and I'll be in the left ear.
Who knows? Fucking
I have no
ASMR going on.
I don't think we're recording with directional mic, so it doesn't actually do that.
That's been the big news of the week, really.
Yeah, that was a lot to dig into, but there was a lot to say.
I mean, like, in a way, also, if there is time, we could do a bonus video of going through like the whole thing.
We'll see how that goes, because I have to go through the whole weekend and everything and all that. Because I won't be available until next Sunday for that.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But is there any other news?
Nothing too crazy. I have some stuff, but it might dox me because it's local news that I got alerted by, but it's pretty neat stuff. A very local restaurant, refused to have, I mean on my road.
Wow, no, that's really
that's local.
I don't know. I'll be honest.
It was some funny Trump stuff. Yeah.
This is one of the other people as part of the delegation. Zingiswalosi.
That's a fun name to say. Other news too is that my town is turned against Trump.
Trade unionist.
That's something you don't really see that a lot anymore.
No, but we have very, very big trade unions in South Africa. They have a lot of sway.
New York Times headlines: Deadlocked Supreme Court rejects bid for Oklahoma religious charter school.
Good. I hate charter schools, and I hate them when they're religious.
Playing at Jewish Museum was.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is a big one. The Jewish Israel's embassy got fired at by someone, and there was I believe there were workers at the embassy killed. Can we look into that real quick? Because I haven't seen anything about that.
I don't know. Do you have a link?
No, I can pull this up. David's also looking for the article. Israel's embassy got fired.
All right.
Israel embassy shooting. 2 Israeli staff members killed in shooting in D.C. This is just a series of events. Yeah, in D.C. The embassy in D.C. This is just the live updates. I want an actual. I guess we could look at the live updates here. Man accused of killing started with murder. DC's shooting suspect is in holding cell. Okay. It seems I thought that it was at a museum, but it's at the embassy. Maybe they were killed at the museum and they were workers from the embassy.
Well, this is
Yeah, so I want to know. I want to know who the person was. What his motives was. Was he an anti-Semite Nazi, or was he Palestinian?
It was Elias Rodriguez, 31 years old, of Chicago.
Well, this guy here says they said free Palestine, but I don't want something from a eyewitness. I want a manifesto. I guess we'll have to wait and see about this investigation.
We'll see.
He did it for Gaza. Yeah, but he could still be a Nazi and doing it for Gaza. This might be the first instance, though, of a leftist doing an actual hate crime, mass shooting type thing. Because normally this is done by right-wingers. And I don't count Luigi Mangione, because that wasn't a hate crime, mass shooting. That was a targeted attack. Also, he might not even be leftist. I don't even know.
According to the headline from New York Times, the FBI said it was targeted to terrorism.
Yeah, yeah.
Luigi Mangione getting charged for terrorism is a fucking joke.
Yeah, it's awful.
I know, but it's actually a joke. It is it is purely so that they can
execute him,
appease and execute this like poor kid who was just honestly pissed off with being fucked over by an industry designed to fuck people over.
Yeah.
Like targeted attack, terrorism, domestic terrorism, like whatever the fuck you want to call it. It was a pissed off kid who just had like one too many bad days because your system sucks.
Yeah, yeah. That was not terrorism.
It was still a murder, but it was not terrorism.
Yeah. My bed's sinking over here. It seems like it's sinking. I think the bar moved.
But what a time in politics right now. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. Your other sock, was this the same sock from earlier that had? Okay, what about the other sock? This sock is fine.
A bit of a heel, but
okay, well, I mean, the other sock is like a fucked up.
Riley likes my feet.
No, I'm inquisitive about the socks.
Feet, Bobby.
No,
feet, Bobby.
No, don't make me more.
Hot dog.
No, Bobby, I am a hot dog. Yeah.
That is going to be our good stopping point is confirming that Riley's in.
No.
That's going to be the title
of the episode. No.
I'm just going to make the thumbnail just feet.
No.
And then like
dog sniffing
avatar in the
feet.
middle.
No. I'm fucked. Oh god. Well, yeah.
I'm just gonna put on screen like a bunch of gifs of dogs licking feet.
No, you just gotta record Max for like 8 minutes and then he'll go and do it. Max literally like won't leave David's side. I had to shut the door on him. Like to get him out. No, it's his face mostly.
So yeah, face and hands are what he licks the most.
I think if he didn't have socks on, he would go for the feet.
Your floor is very cold outside your room.
Yeah, my house is very cold in general. Yeah, because we live like penguins. Everyone always comments on it when they visit. But yeah, no, that's the end of the episode today. I think that was a lot of productivity. I'm officially an alumni today. You know, it's crazy.
So if you like the episode, you want to see them coming, like
go to the Patreon.
Drop a like.
You subscribe,
do
like
Patreon first. Do the free stuff first.
Yeah, that's true. That's
free
fair.
To just subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, like the video, comment your favorite second.
Share it with all of your friends. They don't even have to be your friends. Just go down your contact list.
Yeah, go down your contact list and send it. Yeah.
Print it out on large pamphlets that are like pinned together.
Yeah.
And hand them out to people.
With the link URL there, so they have to like type in the URL like key by key.
Just a picture, a screenshot that includes the URL on it, so they can see the URL, but they can't. Yeah, like
they can't even fully see the title of the episode. They just see the URL in the thumbnail. Yeah. Thank you for everyone who supports us. We appreciate it. We love making them and stuff. And David farted.
Episode number
42.
42. 10 more to go.
10 more to go until a year.
What? 42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything.
It is, yeah. That thing.
It is indeed.
Yeah. Well, that's neat then.
You
10 more episodes until we're
when an African president and an American president see each other and love each other very much, a trade deal is born.
Yeah. Who was President 42? I believe President 42 is Reagan. No, it was H.W. Bush. 45 was Trump. 44 was Obama. 43 is Bush. Right? 42 is Clinton. 43 is Clinton. Wait, hold on. 45, Trump. 44, Obama. 43, Bush. 42, Clinton. Clinton was 42.
Thank you for watching. SqueekyDogCast.
SqueekyDogCast. Keep on squeaking, keep on dogging, keep on casting, keep on fishing.
Keep on.
Keep on. Want to say anything goodbye, David?
I'm watching you.